Hi, it's Mark Owen from Moose, Marketing and PR, the editor of Punchline magazine. Today I'm with Daniel O'Neill, the managing director and founder of ProCook based in Gloucester. Daniel, really nice to see you. Thanks for joining Punchline today.
Thanks very much. Nice to catch up again.
Now, I know we met a number of times. Can you just give me an overview, please, of how big ProCook is now? I know you've got a number of stores. Can you give us an overview, please?
We're currently now 48 stores, and significantly now online. So it's grown over sort of 25% a year for the last 3 or 4 years. So we've after the acquisition of Steamer as well, so that sort of continued our growth path. So it's over 550 people now employed all around the country, and a significant number, around 200 in Gloucestershire.
And a turnover of roughly?
In excess of 50 million now. So it's grown significantly.
It's a significant business, really. Now, obviously, with lockdown, we've all been affected by it. The big problem, I believe, and why we're talking today, is this unfair playing field between the supermarkets and the retail on the high street. Can you tell us what's happening, please?
Yeah, not obviously just the supermarkets, but the supermarkets and garden centres, where obviously these have grown into selling lots of homewares as well as just essential food, and are completely at liberty to sell all of these different types of goods, while specialist shops selling them are unable to open.
So what's happened with ProCook then? Why can't you open? What they're saying?
Well, I felt when I first saw the classification that we would be able to open. I think the first thing that happened, though, that there was a lot of perception within our customers that that was not going to be the case, and that we've seen a dramatic drop in footfall, although we haven't seen that in garden centres particularly. So they were still trading quite well, although that again is now coming under, because we're being put under pressure to close in the garden centres, which is quite ironic. So because we're a standalone unit in a garden centre, we're being forced to close. Although if you go to Dobby's, where we have three of our shops, they also have a cook shop department which can sell our goods.
Right. Okay. So if you have a concession, and it's pretty marked as a concession for ProCook because it's cookery, you've got to close. If a shop on the high street selling cookware, that's got to close. But supermarkets, retail can actually sell cookware, and garden centres can sell cookware as well.
Yeah, that's correct.
And
so
of course, you can buy. So why is cookware not seen to be an essential, or do you believe?
Well, to me, I think this is where we have the clarity is not very clear, in that the government said hardware stores, which traditionally, if you think of stores like Robert Dias and Wilko, that traditional hardware store, and obviously going back even further where you had your traditional hardware stores, cookware as a hard tool for the home was always sold in that category. And actually, the trade association that we falls within hardware. So I felt we fell within the hardware category, so we would be able to remain open. And again, considering the amount of time and money that we spent making these places safe for people to shop, we felt that we were offering a service. People need cookware to actually prepare their food, not only as a sort of people have said garden centres is for mental health, but there are a lot of people who enjoy it as part of their life, to enjoy cooking, and we need to eat as well. So I didn't see the differential and felt we fell within the law.
I suppose it must be even more galling as programs like Bake Off are just about wrapping up, and the big celebrity chefs cooking programs.
That's right.
Going to the end of their thing, and of course now we're leading up to Christmas.
Yeah.
So it must be extremely frustrating.
food is I mean, clearly food is a very big part of people's lives, and they enjoy it. They enjoy, there's an enjoyment factor as well as, you know, a subsistence factor that there is around food. So it's it's very frustrating, and to have no clarity of the situation. So we can speak to trading standards in Gloucestershire, and they feel that there isn't sufficient clarity within the notification from the government about who should remain open, who should close. That they've said, until we seek that clarity, our advice would be to remain open. The same applied when I contacted Alex Chalk's office. Again, at the moment, there wasn't enough clarity to say for sure close. But then other trading standards areas around the country have taken a different view. And even Bristol, who I've been getting into quite a sort of a protracted point, because I felt I just can't take it anymore. So I thought I would take Bristol to the point of saying, you know, well, unless you instruct me to close, I'm not going to close, which they did this morning. I've subsequently wrote to them saying, well, I will be losing money from today, and, you know, if you instruct me to close. And they've now said, well, until we get clarity, we're not instructing you to close. So again, even within one trading standards or environmental health area, the position is unclear.
Right. So so moving forward then for you guys, where do you see this is going to end up? It's going to have to.
Well, I guess we'll either.
Are you get fined as well?
Potentially, we that was the point of my email to trading environmental health in Bristol, that, you know, I will close if you instruct me to do, because I can't afford. It's £1,000 a day, which escalates £1,000 each day up to £10,000. So I can't afford. There's no, you know, we just don't take enough money to make that viable. So, you know, that's why I put the question to him. So yes, we can't really afford the fine. And
how much did you spend to getting the stores COVID compliant? 48 stores all over the UK. Any idea?
I mean, it was probably approaching, you know, between £1,000 and £2,000 per store. So, you know, it's circa £100,000. It's and there's a lot of stores. It's a lot of money.
And a lot of people employed need those jobs too.
A lot of people employed, and also it means we've now got to rely upon the furlough scheme, which doesn't help anyone.
Daniel, thanks ever so much for telling Punchline today. Always good to speak to you. Hopefully next time maybe better circumstances. Please keep us posted.